Hello, Margie Bryant, and welcome. Today I'd like to share my story about how I started in network marketing. And it was back in the incredible dark times of August of 2008 when we were going through that global financial crisis. And it really galvanized my attention into thinking about how were we going to get through it primarily. And if you didn't look after your own finances, certainly the economy at that time was really falling apart, and you couldn't rely on the governments. They were propping up the banks. You couldn't even rely on countries because they were falling into demise as well. I'm giving you an example there of Greece, where it really was going through a huge collapse, and if it wasn't for Germany propping it up and all sorts of other countries like England, then we would have had big crises. So it really turned my attention. I was working at the time and I had enormous pressures on me, and I really had to think at that particular time because my something that I hold deeply valuable to me is integrity. And at that time, my integrity was being compromised, and nothing compromises my integrity. So I knew I had to leave that particular job, and I thought if I had to get another job, there'd be still the same stresses on my time, still the same stresses on my energy, and I'd still be reporting to a boss, and I didn't want that. So I had to go a different way, and I'm just so grateful that I had a long-term vision, and my mother, I'm even more deeply grateful to my mother, who had even a longer-term vision. This is a legacy business for me, where my mother had, in her journey, had suffered from a heart attack when she was 45 and was looking for high-grade health products. And she found that in this particular company, and she went on and to live until she was 91, and my father lived to 96. And surprisingly, her cardiologist looked her in the eye and said, "Alma, you could die at any moment." But she looked him in the eye and said, "You could do." And the irony of the story was that he did die 6 months later, and as I said, she went on and lived for 91 and 96. The products have been enormously beneficial to my health, certainly to my family's health, to my husband's health, and we just love sharing them with people and really get a great buzz out of helping people daily. And the next thing that I'd like to cover is what are some of the biggest challenges that I faced. Some of the challenges that I faced was I was shy. I was an introvert and quiet, and I needed to develop my skills, and I needed to move out of my own way. And some of the lessons that I learned was that I needed to manage my time much better. I was talking way too much to myself rather than thinking and serving others and being a problem solver. And this is the key to it, is focusing on the other and just moving out of your way. But having that pattern of behavior set up and a consistent routine that you can apply your skills is really vital to be successful in business. And I'm ever so grateful for that. I had learned also from swimming. I was a champion swimmer, and I learned several lessons which I'd like to share today. The first one was that to make improvements is the small steps, and it's made mistake by mistake. And I found in my own swimming career that I learned much more from the mistakes that I made. I was able to correct, look back and reflect, and then correct and do that each day as I swam in the pool. My coach wouldn't speak to me till I'd done 40 laps in the pool, so she was making sure that I was getting into my flow and getting into the routine and really making sure that I was getting out of my own way. And if I was going to be a champion swimmer, that was going to be vital. And it's the same in business. You really need to get out of your own way and do the daily activities really well. I also learned that time is money, and I was trading my time in a job and I wasn't valuing that time as much as I could. I'd be paid regardless whether I was there, whether I was working or whatever. And that's trading your time for money. And I really know now that as I was overthinking things and I was procrastinating, and I needed to step outside my comfort zones in my business to really, really make progress. I also recognized that it was all mental, and I would used to think that I was not capable enough, that I wasn't good enough, and then I really questioned what that enough really means. I just needed to move out of my way and share simply what my story is and focus on others and help them with their needs. And I needed to question what my rewind tape was, what that time was. And this was something that was very helpful to me. Simon, you were very helpful to me, where it's who are you becoming in your life? Who are you becoming? It's got nothing to do with who your past is, what you've done in the past and what your achievements are. It really has everything to do with your vision and your passion and your purpose and why you're doing it, and very much to do with your cause of why you're working and doing what you're doing. And why I thought that it was really, really valuable is I needed to be consistent, and I needed to be stronger than my excuses. And I needed to be, motivation would come and motivation would go, but is to do something consistently and persistently. This is something that's so vital in success in life and in business. It certainly was vital for me in my swimming career. I know that I was being trained and I could have gone to the Olympics, but if I hadn't done that consistent action every day, I would have been not the champion that I was. And to achieve the medals that I did in my life, it really, really did draw down to that very simple thing of being consistent in my routines. And the way to be successful in life is to have a schedule, really have a book and a schedule. And I've got this great book, Living Your Best Life Ever. I schedule everything and I pop it down in a diary and schedule out have a weekly pattern and a program, and I find that very, very beneficial. I also have a timer. I have a simple timer that is going to work 100% of the time. I have one for every room, so wherever I am, I can be doing it. I have one in my bag so that when I'm out and about, I can set that timer and really make sure that I putting the activities into the nooks and crannies of my busyness of my day and getting the work done. And that's what it's about, is having that incredible discipline and that persistence. And if you procrastinate, you'd never get anything done. So that timer forces me not to procrastinate and to move out of my own way, and I found it extremely beneficial. And what I would say is my vision is to empower you to be the healthiest and happiest version of you. And I think many people are stuck in life. They don't know what they are wanting to do or how to do it. And I have 3 beliefs: be more, become more, do more, so you can give back more. And I've started a healthy lifestyle movement right throughout the world. I'd love people to be empowered to do what they want to do, doing it with the time that they have available. And maybe they want to be a stay-at-home mum or a stay-at-home dad, or just doing the traveling that I do, and to have a flexible online business when you can really do it wherever you are in the world. And that's my passion and my purpose. And I would love to help you to get results in a much quicker time frame than working a traditional job of 9 to 5. And you can definitely do it. The future is very much going to be in the online space. And I'm so grateful to have a business with that flexibility in time and delivering on my passion and my purpose in my life, which is to help people every day to be the happiest and healthiest version of who they are. Margie Bryant, love life and live it in the greatest happiness, the greatest health, and live your life by design.